how would you, going from that, how would you define a true martial artist today? What is a true martial artist apart this point of aliveness?
Sure. I think a true martial artist is somebody who is sincere, who tells the truth, and who is working in one way or another with functional martial arts. So they're working with real martial arts, and also is maintaining a certain level of character and dignity and respect for other human beings. So that would be the way I would differentiate between a true martial artist and somebody who is just, for example, a fighter. So you could be a fighter and train in MMA, and but if you're still treating people poorly, if you're not conducting yourself in a manner that shows dignity for yourself and other people, then I probably wouldn't apply the term martial artist to you. But there's no reason why people can't do both. And I know a lot of people who train functional martial arts who also maintain an environment where everybody feels welcome, where everybody's treated well, where everybody's treated with dignity, where things like character and how you represent yourself matter. And so they're not mutually exclusive in any way, shape, or form. And I think to be a martial artist, you have to have the combination of both. You have to be doing something that's a real martial art, and you also have to be conducting yourself and just as importantly, making sure that your students conduct themselves in a manner that treats other people with respect.
Okay. So in one of your podcasts, you were asking to John Kavanagh, you were asking what was the number one point he would consider to define a coach ability, and he answered. He said his ability to build a proper environment where everybody can make mistakes.
Yeah, that's a good answer.
But we didn't hear you about that. What do you think?
Oh, I agree with him. So, to me, everybody in a martial arts school, in a functional martial arts academy or gym, is going to have their role to play. And to me, the head instructor, if you're the head instructor or head coach of that particular facility, the most important thing you do is create the culture that defines that facility. And that includes everything. But primarily what it means is you're creating an environment in terms of physical martial arts. What it means is you're creating an environment where people feel safe to be vulnerable. So people can come onto the mat, feel safe, to be physically vulnerable. You can come on the mat and they're going to have to roll with conditions to punch them in the face, to potentially break a limb. And if people don't feel comfortable allowing themselves to go into vulnerable positions over and over and over again so that they can get good, because functional martial arts require failing over and over and over again, then you're going to have an environment where that's not healthy. And so what John has to do, John Kavanagh, for his fight team, is he has to create an environment where the fighters can come in, they can be safe, and they can focus on their weaknesses, and they can train without getting injured, without worrying about getting injured or worrying about getting hurt. And so that way they can really start to develop their skill. And everything else, all the other things John does, and he does a lot of things fantastic because he's a world-class coach, but everything else he does is second to that, because without that, nothing else he does is gonna matter as much, right?
Okay. Oh, that's impressive. Okay, so going from that, how would you define a good gym and a bad gym?
Sure. So going back to what I just said, I think the first most important piece of having a good gym is making sure that people are safe. So that's number one. So if you walk in there and people are getting hurt, then that's not a good gym. It doesn't matter if they're good at martial arts. It doesn't matter if they're good at fighting. If people are getting injured, it's totally counterproductive, because our goal should be to build people up. We want to make weak people stronger. We want to make people healthier. So if people are getting injured, it's counterproductive. It's counter to the mission, so to speak. So number one, they have to be safe, and number two, be comfortable. So, and for me personally, I want to have a gym where everybody feels comfortable, where not only athletic men, but women and kids and families and older people, someone that maybe has been working on a desk job for the last 15 years and has never run, for like 10 years, can walk in, and we can then build that person up to the point where they can take these arts to whatever level they want to take them to. To me, that's very, very important. That'd be the second piece. So the first piece is it's safe. Second piece is we're building people up and people feel welcome. Everyone feels welcome. And then the third piece is just being technically good at your job, being a good craftsman, to where you can actually help people learn the martial arts in an efficient way. So, being a good coach would be that, or good teacher would be that